Welcome guys to episode 1 of a brand new series, MLB The Show, and we're going to do the game mode of controlling just the pro, so videos aren't going to be too long. It's going to skip through the game just to the bits where our character is in it. I've had a little go on this. I've set the player up already, had a little go just to get used to controls. Got to be honest, I am terrible at this game, especially hitting and running, but I've chosen to be a starting pitcher, so let's go in and have a look. I've done all this already. Current rosters, there we go.
With the MLB draft already underway, a young prospect shares his expectations with a former coach.
Okay, so we got to get drafted first by the look of it. Yeah, let's go for the ball club that wants us the most. See who drafts us. I think we got to start in the minor leagues and work our way up, but I'm not sure.
What's his world like?
Oh, it's extremely exciting. You know that if you perform, you will get the call.
We've got a developing story here. JP, what are you hearing?
I'm checking the numbers, I'm talking to my sources and my scouts, and they're all telling me, hey, this could actually work.
Most of us mere mortals, when we were that age, we were barely chewing gum and walking at the same time, let alone playing the hardest game there is.
Let's see if he's pumping up mentally here to adapt. That's what good players do.
That dream of getting the big leagues is now becoming reality with that one phone call.
Rays. Not sure which team that is. I like baseball, but I'm not too sure on all the team names.
Continuing our MLB Draft Day 2 wrap-up coverage, back to the prospect that we mentioned before the break. There was some surprise, even some criticism of the front office over how early he went off the board. Jonathan Mayo, what do you think of this pick?
Man, I don't think any of us saw this one coming. This definitely feels like a reach to me.
Bit rude.
I had him more as a day 3 kind of guy. There was a split camp. A lot of scouts disagreed whether he's better as a pitcher or better as a hitter. I'm guessing the team felt that he's got potential on both sides of the ball, and maybe that adds some value to him. But this made me scratch my head a little bit for sure.
All right, Jonathan Mayo, thanks. What about you, Jim Callis? Was this a head scratcher or the reach of the draft, as some of the other analysts have suggested?
Yeah, you know, I talked to somebody with the team, and they're excited to get this guy. This is a guy they really want. And the 2 points the club made to me were, one, you know, this whole debate: is he a hitter? Is he a pitcher? You know, what are you going to do with him? There was a lot of confusion. This team isn't confused. This team feels like he's got very good potential as a hitter and as a pitcher. They may even try to play him both ways. And they felt like there were a couple other teams that were starting to sniff around this guy. And, you know, this isn't the NFL or NBA draft where you could trade down to get a guy you want. If you want a guy, you have to take him because there's no trades. And they felt like if they didn't take him where they did, somebody else was going to get them, and they just absolutely did not want that to happen.
Jim Callis, we appreciate the time. Thanks.
Okay. A little bit disappointing to start with. I've played previous versions of this game, and I think from memory you used to do like a spring training. So you did a bit of training on there, and then that decided where you were going to be picked in the draft. Two-way player. No, we don't want to do that. We just want to be a pitcher. So it looks like I'm going to have to. Catcher is probably easiest. Let's go outfield.
broadcast and back on the prospect who's divided the scouting community. I am opposed to this belief that he went too high. I really think he could be a steal here. This is a guy who's got so much development left to do. He's got so much potential. And I think all the scouts who are down on him think, oh, he's not a finished product. We don't know what he is. That, to me, could be a good thing. He can hit. He can field. He can pitch. There is so much untapped potential so far for this guy. I'm excited to see what he becomes. And certainly as he gets started actually playing, actually being in games, we're going to be able to talk to some other folks who get a better read on him and see what they think.
Okay, I'm not sure what I've done here, but I'm not actually a picture here, so we'll have to see what we're doing. You have to create like a little loadout with your stats, and I've only made one for starting picture, so let's see how we get on. Hopefully it'll come up on the chat thing again in the story mode to be able to say no, I don't want to do outfield.
Baseball is live and on the air on the show. Opening night here in this brand new season between the Montgomery Biscuits and the Tennessee Smokies. We've got baseball on the show, and it's coming up next.
Let's get this bit. Maybe what next appearance. Okay, we're up leading off this inning.
Into the box, Scott Edwards, and he'll start out their half of the third, top of the order to follow.
For me, this is an important add-on inning here. Their little lead is cute. I like it.
I'm really bad at batting when it comes to taking balls instead of strikes. Like that one. Normally I just swing at everything.
Maybe too much break on the slider, 2-1.
I'd be real surprised if he goes back out away there on the mound. This is a count for a fastball challenge, and we'll see if he's ready for it in the box.
The pitch. Now a swing and a miss as he picks up another one. Make it 4 strikeouts already, and there's your first out.
Talk about blowing it by a guy. Geez, I mean, that fastball.
All ready to go in the top of the 5th. And standing in is the DH, Scott Edwards. Toward the gap in right
we got
center.
hit.
This
Nice.
is going to be a base hit, and he may take that big turn at first.
No, stay at first. Okay, so I got this simmed now. So that was whatever inning we're in now.
Striding in is Alika Williams, singled in his last at-bat.
Extend the lead.
Now a move over
Oh,
to
just been
first.
caught stealing. I didn't know the control. It's a nightmare.
So much for that leadoff single.
It'll be
Leading
no
off the
7th
inning,
inning.
it'll be Scott Edwards. They'll look to spark the offense and even things up. Hit in the air down the right field line. Slaughter is in a few steps as he takes it for the first down.
Could be the game. I don't know. Are we now top of the ninth? 4-all.
Here is Scott Edwards.
Oh, we got runner on second as well.
Walk him here to
Just
set up a
1-8.
double play that would keep the game tied. Here's the first pitch, and it's fouled
Should have
away.
left that one.
The 0-1. And a
Oh,
check swing here as he
hold on.
couldn't help
Oh, it's
himself.
giving me a strike on that.
Strike 2.
So I mean, I just end up swinging at everything.
And he couldn't get him to chase the 0-2 fastball. It's 1-2.
Hey, I get it. He wants to set up that breaking ball down and away, but that 0-2 fastball wasn't even close.
Fastball, but that's easy to lay off, and it's back to even at 2-2.
I know he missed with a fastball right there, but this guy's arsenal, you can't figure out what he's trying to do. He's got a lot of different directions he can go in right here.
Rubbish.
And there's the good curve.
This is why I wanted to be a pitcher, because the games are too quick like this. I think we're going to have to do a couple as a batter, and then it might switch us.
Future stars are on. So here is Octavio slaughtered. He'll lead things off here in the bottom half of the first.
Oh, I'm pitching this time.
Pitch on the way. He starts him out with a strike on the outer half. Guys, you take a look at our visiting club as they enter play here this evening. They started the season out on the wrong foot, dropping one on the road on opening day.
Yeah, Matty, they need to grab this one today. You don't want to drop the first 2 games of the season. I don't care if it's on the road. I know you're going to have to battle, play well at home. You can't afford to get on a team bus back to the hotel 0-2.
On my fielders quite a lot.
Now the pitch.
Hey, great job by the offense right here to put a number up on the board and allow this young gun to go out on the mound, relax a little bit, and establish that good fastball.
Fouled off. Bases are empty, 1 man out.
Try and get chasing.
Swing and a little blooper to center. Williams ranging into the outfield. He tracks it down and makes the play to record the second out. So the next to bat will be Jonathan Cabrera. No one aboard for him, and 2 gone here in the first. Ball 1 to start the at-bat. And here's a fastball in for strike 1. 91 miles an hour that time.
I'm absolutely shocked he took that pitch right there. Right in the wheelhouse, low 90s heater. That's one.
And we'll just leave it there as they make the play to end the inning.
Take that. Well, fielders.
Stepping up is Trent Gimbroni.
You know, these next couple innings are really important for these guys. I know they're only down by a couple, but they need to get something going on offense to keep pace, even though it's early.
Edwards isn't really known as the kind of starter that goes deep into games. It's not that he isn't capable, I'm sure. He just hasn't been that guy that works deep into games with regularity.
Matty V, I'm not sure it's this guy's fault, but I think it's more the fault of the metrics and the way we look at pitchers now, trying to limit the number of pitches and the number of appearances they have with particular guys in the lineup.
Swing and a miss on the fastball, and that's the first out. And as he punches him out there, he collects his first Double-A strikeout.
Well, I'm sure that feels good, and maybe he'll keep the ball or something, but you know his sights are set on a lot higher than Double-A ball. Figuring out how to strike out a lot more guys at this level as he progresses in the minors will be one of the keys for him reaching the big leagues.
Sinker gets the outside for a strike.
Boy, so far early into this one, this guy's pitching really well, and I'm a big believer in body language. He's getting the ball, he's working really quick, keeping the ball down in the zone, and if you take a look at this guy so far early on, a lot of positive signs. He looks like he brought his good stuff in this one.
And now the first pitch. This one smoked the other way, high and deep to left. And he gets there, makes the running play, and that ends the inning. And now in the box, Jerry Young, a couple of hits for him in 4 trips to the plate last night. Ready to deliver, here comes the first pitch. Swing and a miss that time, it's 0-1.
The offense better get it going right here because they certainly can tell from their dugout this guy is carrying himself with a presence out on the mound.
Yeah, because the stats are very good. My control is a bit not going where I'm setting it.
Pulled toward right center field. Center fielder on the run. He gets there to make the play for the first out of the inning. That brings up Alexander Canario. He went deep in the contest last night. And he gets ahead 0-1. 1 out, nobody on. And this is lined hard to deep left. Valencia is going to get there as he backs up to put it away. And there are 2 gone now. Now into the box, Reginald Preciado. This guy's still looking at a 0 in the hit column. And a check swing here. They'll appeal it down to third. No swing, says Woody Keller. It's ball 1. It's 2-0.
Hey, we got 2 down, fellas.
Sinker on the inside, and that's a strike. Fastball, and looks like they're pinching him a bit here. It's 3-1.
A 3-1 count, tying run on deck. Good spot to be a hitter right now. You have to look for something middle in.
The 3-2 pitch. And he fouls this one off. A payoff pitch one more time.
Let's go back to fastballs.
On the 8th pitch of the at-bat is the one that finally does it as he wears him down and the inning is over. So the batting order turns over now and set to go.
And we're not batting in this match either because
swing and a miss on the sinker, 0-1.
but we're in there's 2 leagues, National and American League, and in one of them they got different rules where the pitcher doesn't bat. So I think that's where we're playing it at the moment. It's all based on who the home team is as to which rules you play.
And not only just speed, but first step quickness speed. He's able to track balls down that other guys cannot get to. And sometimes that's half the equation.
Diaz is right there, 1 down. So now into the box is Janeshwi Farkas, flew out last time up.
And with his speed, he's one of those rare guys who you'd actually like to see keep the ball on the ground. You can't beat out a fly ball in this game.
So now to the plate.
Oh, hello. Ah, okay. So the hold and release.
Cabrera. To second for one.
Got him, mate. Nice, got the lead runner.
They get the double play to get him out of the inning. 1 hit in the inning, but that gets erased. We played 4 full. The Biscuits lead it 2-0. Bottom of the inning now, and set to go is the second baseman, Trent Gimbroni. Out in front of it, strike 1.
This guy's been really on point so far, but it's not getting any easier. He has to get through 4, 5, and 6 right here.
Again, another foul ball.
This guy's been throwing the ball great so far, but he's going to be tested here. 4, 5, and 6 coming up this part of the lineup.
Swing and a miss as he ran the fastball right by him for the first down.
Man, they've really had his number so far in this series. That's his 5th strikeout in this series alone.
The pitch. Taylor Gushu will stand in for the second time now as he looks at a called strike. It's 0-1.
We're going to go same place.
Usually the second time through the order, you start seeing an incorporation of some more off-speed stuff.
That's 2 strikes are all nice. So now we're going to go for a slower one. What have I got? Slider, but in the same place. See if he thinks it's another fastball.
Got him.
Nice.
Good slider there, swung on and missed as he's down on strikes for the second time tonight.
Well, it's been a rough series for him at the plate so far. That's 4 strikeouts in the first 2 games, so this pitching staff clearly has him figured out.
Sends that one out of play for strike 1.
Hey, now we've got 2.
The windup and the 0-1. Pulled toward right center field.
Oh, I think it's going to be a base hit.
For the center fielder. Long run, but he gets there to track this one down, and a very nicely recorded out number 3. Now to the plate, Austin Shenton will look to light a spark under this lineup that hasn't found the scoreboard since back in the first inning.
Yeah, and for me, the story has been the starting pitching they faced. It's been very difficult.
So now here is Jared Young. He'll start things out in their half of the 6th as they look to shake things up here for a lineup that, quite frankly, has been non-existent to date.
Yeah, I think if I'm the hitting coach right here, Matty, I'm telling the offense to get aggressive. Just seems like we've been going too deep in counts, and this guy has got exploding stuff on the mound. So I would tell them get overly aggressive on a heater in the middle of the plate early. Hey, make no mistake about it, this lineup's going to have to get going and get a little bit more aggressive. This guy's pounding the zone.
And he'll reach first safely.
Nice effort by the shortstop right there. Kept it in front of him. That's all he could do right there, Dave.
You know, dealer in a spot like that, that's an infield single. That's a tough play. Just to knock that ball down was a pretty good job. But any way you look at it, that should be scored a base hit, and I'm sure it was.
1-1 to count. From the belt, the pitch. Young gets his lead at first, nobody out. And he struck him out.
Boy, he's having a hard time just putting the ball in play right now. He took the hat trick with 3 strikeouts yesterday, and here's another one today. Looks to me like he just needs to simplify his approach and focus on making some contact.
The 0-1 delivery.
Hey, he's been able to pound that zone all night, working that outer half of the plate. That's why he's having so much success.
He lets him off the hook on 0-2 as this is lined into left field for a base hit.
We're on 1-8.
Hey, just a nice piece of hitting right there. He's able to keep his hands inside that ball, stay square as long as possible, and feed it into the opposite field for a base hit.
He comes set. Here's the 0-0 pitch. Octavio Slaughter is at the plate here as he quickly finds himself down a strike. It's 0-1. In there, and it's 0-2 now.
After 2 great pitches, he has a lot of options right now. He could bounce something or go elevated fastball.
A ball and 2 strikes now. Here comes the 1-2. He's looked at for ball number 2.
Well, 2 straight fastballs inside haven't put him away. So now it'll be interesting to see what he turns to.
So this is pulled in by the shortstop.
Okay, 1 more 8. Get away with this inning.
Next up, Janeshwi Fargas singled last time up.
Yeah, they take another single right here. That third base coach is dying to wave his arms. I wouldn't be surprised if anything hit hard through the infield. He's going to wave him.
Fastball, and he's quickly in the hole. 0-2.
Boy, this is one of those ABs you like to hit the rewind button on. Put himself in a tough spot now, hitting with 2 strikes.
Slider.
0-2 once more.
I would chase it.
2 men are on with 2 men out.
Fastball.
Fouled away.
Slider again. Oh, nice.
Struck him out.
Got away with that one. Trap 6 innings.
So it's no runs on 2 hits, no errors. Now at the plate, Jonathan
2-0 lead.
Cabrera. 3rd trip to the plate for him here tonight. 0 for 2 at this point. In there, strike 1.
What a well-executed fastball right there. Down and away. If you're going to do any damage with that pitch, you have to think up the middle the other way, and you have to be diving and leaning out over that.
I expect they get took out the game soon.
Now a ball slapped hard the opposite way. And that's a base hit, so the pressure's on to open up the inning.
Hey, the object of the game is to pass the baton on the offensive side and give yourself a chance to get the tying run to the plate late in the game.
Oh, no.
Meanwhile now, this is a fair ball down the line and left, and that ought to be good for extra bases. And they've really got something going here. Runners at 2nd and 3rd to start the inning.
Oh, dear.
Finally, a little something for them to get excited about.
Yeah, a rally can begin with the single swing of the bat. And this might be their chance right here. They've struggled to produce a lot of runs, but there he is at 2nd base. A shot to the outfield scores him. Then who knows what kind of roll they can get on. Got to take it one good at-bat at a time.
Williams stay with it as he backs up and puts it away. 1 gone. From the stretch. Hard hit ball to 2nd.
Oh, they scored a run.
Throw from shallow right will get him at
We've got
first,
2 outs
but the
now,
run
though.
will come in to score.
As long as we can get out of this one, I'm still on for the win. Nope, they're taking me out.
And they cut their deficit to only 1 run.
Yep. Got to leave to see if we win now. We are the Biscuits, I think. So it looks like we won. 2-1, yep. So that gives me the win. It's all good.
Close one tonight, 2-1 the final score. The Montgomery Biscuits jumped out to an early lead in the 1st and never looked back. Scott Edwards earns his first win of the season. Anderson Espinoza takes the loss.
Yeah, so our guy's not very good at the moment. Looks like we got to play in the minor leagues, build him up a little bit, and then go from there.
To the team.
Whatever. Your off days are your own, but every bit of extra time, yeah, block. We don't want to be a hitter.
A minor league pitching coach offers advice to a new member of his staff.
Cool. Okay, so I think we're going to have to play a couple more outfield until we convert him into a proper pitcher. 65 overall though, so not too bad, but he was getting hit a lot there. We're going to leave it there for this one, guys, and I will see you on the next one. I'm probably going to end up doing probably 2 games per video on this one, especially once we're a pitcher, because I think they take about sort of 15 minutes each, and then we'll go from there and see how we get on. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.